I've always loved the harp. Who doesn't? And my teaching room was next to where the harp teacher was working. And I just heard all this glorious music coming through the walls. I just thought it was fantastic.
Even if you can't sit at the harp, you can listen and look at the scores and get inspiration and talk. Like quite often actually we have people who come to How to Harp and they say, oh, I'm going to join, but I'm going to join when this is better, or when I can do this, or when I'm at this level. And I'm like, no, join now, like get to work now, watch the concerts, listen to the people talk in the community. So actually there is always something you can do, isn't there?
Talk to other people. Don't worry if you're stuck. Celebrate the small wins. And also if you're finding something really hard, just like you're not necessarily learning something for tomorrow. It might be something that's 3 months' time, and it takes time to come, and just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
Welcome to the How to Harp podcast, where your harp and your journey are always front and centre. I'm Heather Downey, harpist and founder of How to Harp, your online space for expert guidance and endless inspiration. Each week, we are here to empower, inspire and encourage you, whether you're just beginning or many years into your harp adventure. From chats with world-class professionals to real stories from everyday harpists to practical tips you can use right away. This podcast is all about helping you feel happy, confident and fulfilled with your harp. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20. I honestly cannot believe how quickly the first 20 episodes have just flown by. This is one of our regular features, our Harpy Chat with a learner harpist. And in this episode, I'm joined by Karina Gourlay. Karina has a high-level music background and is head, or was head until just very recently, of a junior conservatoire. So she brings such an interesting perspective to learning the harp as an adult. Many start out on other instruments, so I'm sure her story will resonate with lots of you. In this chat, we talk about how Karina first got into the harp, starting out with the amazing Keziah Thomas through the Little Harp Social, and why that's such a brilliant way to begin. Keziah is amazing. Check out her concert workshop and full course on pedal harp if you are in the How to Harp membership. I think you can now tell that I really am a big fan of Keziah. Now, Karina also chats about her experience coming to the How to Harp retreat in Scotland and everything she discovered along the way as her harping has grown. All right, enough of me, let's go into the episode. Hello Karina, how are you doing today?
Hello Heather, I'm fine. I'm having a really nice day, and thank you so much for asking me to do this.
Oh, I'm so delighted to have you. I'm really excited about our chat. And I have to say, because we are recording this ahead of the podcast time, but when this is released, it will be the 19th of December, and that will be a happy birthday to you.
It will. Thank you for the early happy birthday wishes.
Amazing. So now you get 2 birthdays because you get to celebrate today with me and then on the 19th when this is released.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Okay. So I'm super excited about getting into your story because you've got so much creativity going on in the background and everything like this. But maybe you can take us right back to the start and tell us how you actually got into the harp.
I've always loved the harp. Who doesn't? But a real moment for me when I was teaching flute at a music school, and my teaching room was next to where the harp teacher was working. And I just heard all this glorious music coming through the walls. I just thought it was fantastic. And so I went to talk to her, and I saw the students there as well. And I'd never realised that there was an option. They all had their 34-string harps. I'd previously thought you'd have to start on a pedal harp. And suddenly I thought, oh, that looks amazing. That's maybe something that I could do. So that was my first thing. Now, at that point, I was having a lot of shoulder problems, and I sat down with a harp teacher and I did have a go. And I just thought, for me at this point, it's not right. But I always kept the thought there. And years later, and I worked with a very good physio, and I was in a much better place. And I just thought, I would really like to do this. And so this was in about 2020, 2021, also during COVID. And I was looking online and I came across Keziah Thomas and Little Harp Social. I looked at it and I thought, I'd quite like to do that. And I also looked at Keziah and her playing and sort of found some videos of Keziah playing, and I was just blown away. It was just so amazing. So I signed up for Little Harp Social. And so it will be just over 4 years ago, I got my little 20-string harp. And that was where it all started. So I signed up for lessons. You get your little harp. I signed up for the online version of lessons. So it was 10 online group lessons. And I thought, this will be a bit of fun. You know, I can read music. Doesn't matter if I practice all the time, I'll probably be able to keep up. Little did I know how I was just going to get absolutely enthused by it and just love it. So that was the starting point with Keziah.
Amazing. Amazing. I've got so many questions already just from what you've told us. So I want to go back, first of all, because you said you were teaching flute. So you've got a background which is in music, but not really just a background that's in music. Yeah, you are a professional flute teacher, flute performer. So you've got a lot of knowledge of music, right? So did you, when you were younger, when you were a teenager, did you know you wanted a career in music? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it was always going to be music. I did at one point think I'd like to do something with horses.
Nice.
So quite different. But someone pointed out to me that if you go into horses, it's so expensive, you'd never be able to have your own horse.
Yeah.
So, and I love music as well. But no, those are the two options. And I just love music so much. That was the thing. I knew I wanted to go to conservatoire or music college. That was always an aim.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, amazing. And you actually, I'm sure, like I have to mention this because most musicians are so modest, but you've actually worked your way up and now you're really quite high in a conservatoire, right? You have a high position. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so I've had a variety of roles, but my current one at the moment is I'm head of a junior conservatoire. And that's fantastic. It's brought together all the experience from all my other roles that I've had in teaching, composing, working in HE, but the joy of working with under 18s and putting things in place to be able to support them to follow their dreams. It's a very special job to have.
Amazing. That's so lovely. That's lovely. So obviously our audience are harp players, but I'm interested to know, I'm sure we've got a lot of harp learners out there who have a decent knowledge, a very high level of knowledge on another instrument. And I'm interested to know how you feel that has influenced, I don't want to say had a positive or negative effect, because perhaps it's both. So how has having that music knowledge influenced you as a harp learner and influenced your harp learning journey?
There's definitely pros and cons. Mm-hmm. So the pros are you come to it with a knowledge of theory. You can look at a piece of music, I can look at it and I will know how it should sound or how I would want it to sound. The cons are you expect that you should be able to do it more quickly than you can, and you have got to put that work in. I will also say about technique. I think it's so important to work with someone that can guide you with technique, because it's so different to any other instrument I've played. And I found it quite interesting learning in a group. I could see people who didn't have that musical background be actually quicker at picking up technique things because they didn't have any preconceived ideas. And I thought that was really quite interesting, that everyone with their own learning journey will bring something different to it. And it's not a competition. You just have to work with you and just understand that sometimes things take longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And in that group situation, so you said you joined Little Harp Social with Keziah in the group lessons, but I think it's probably important to mention, just in case there's people out there who maybe don't know Keziah, definitely look her up. Keziah Thomas is amazing. In a group situation with a harp tutor like Keziah, I mean, that's not like your average group learning situation, is it? Because Keziah is amazing. So she'll have been picking up on all these different learners and people at different levels and bringing them on, right? So I kind of feel like, wow, you've been privileged to be started with Keziah. Do you feel the same?
Absolutely. There's a couple of things. I know when I was trying harps, when I went to buy my own harp, I got really complimentary feedback about my technique. And other teachers have said, oh, but you've learnt online, but you've the foundations are there. And that's Keziah's approach. So what Keziah will always do, she'll start off with a warm-up. It's very technique focused, which is brilliant, but the warm-up will relate to the piece that we're learning during that lesson. And she's always built in time for individuals to go around and just support and just say, oh, just think of dropping your fingers, or just look at where your elbow is, think about shoulders. Those lessons set a brilliant foundation. And yes, so I went all through all the courses with Little Harp Social.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Wonderful. And you've now mentioned when you were buying your first harp, so you started on your Little Harp Social harp, but you don't just have one harp now, do you? So tell us about your harps.
No. The ideal number of harps is n plus 1, which means the number of harps you have plus one more. So I've got a beautiful Dusty Strings FH36. So 36 strings. It wasn't what I went to buy. I went to buy I went to buy a harp with 34 strings. But I sat and I played them all. I tried different ones, different makes. And that was the one. And I was sat there and I was going, but I can't afford it. Doesn't really fit in the car. It's too heavy. But I love the sound of it. And that was the one I came home with, and I've never regretted it.
Yeah, the harp finds you.
Yeah. So that was the second one. The next one was about 2 years ago. And one of the things that I love my Celtic harp and what I can do with it, but I also wanted to do some more ensemble playing with other players, more chamber music, and long-term perhaps do some orchestral playing. So I started looking for a pedal harp, and I was in Camac in Cardiff, and I was trying the pedal harps, and they had this beautiful electric harp that was there, which was also on a special offer because I think they'd been on display for a long time. And she said, oh, can I just try this? I'm looking out for a second-hand one. And so Ellen said, oh, well, actually, this one's actually on offer at the moment. So that one came home with me.
So you went for a pedal harp and you came home with an electro harp.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Next.
I didn't actually find the pedal harp that I wanted, but I got that. But then, 6 months later, I did get a pedal harp. and I've got a gorgeous Selby Aurora.
Amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're all very different. I like them all for different reasons. I wouldn't be without any of them.
Of course. So I think it's really important for people to try lots of different makes and models when they're finally searching for that harp and they have that bit of knowledge. You're based in the UK. I'm also based in the UK. But there are harp shops and harp festivals all over the world. But where was it that you went to try the different makes and models?
So when I got my lever harp, I went to Clive Morley Harps because I knew they had a nice selection. But I'd also joined Transpennine Harps at that point, and I'd had a hire harp from them. And that was great because I'd tried different harps there as well. So that was really useful. So I had an idea of what I liked, but it is so important to go and try different ones. And when I got my pedal harp, I went to 3 different harp shops.
Yeah.
So obviously I went to Camac. I also went to the Harp Studio, and again I went to Clive Morley Harps.
Yeah, really good. And it's important as well, just while we're on the subject, to take advice from, other players, your tutor, experienced people who have got knowledge about the different makes and brands. But it's also important to go and try yourself and just say to yourself, which one am I falling in love with?
Yeah. So I took my husband with me, and he was there. He's a musician as well. So that was great because he was able to give his opinion as well on what he thought. And he also did a little recording of me playing them as well. So I could listen to the recording. I also asked someone else to play the harps. So it just gave me that different approach.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
different feedback, which I think it's so important.
Absolutely. And when I went to buy my pedal harp, Keziah came with me to help me choose.
Yeah.
It's really important. Okay, well, I think it's about time we listen to some music. So we've got a clip of your playing that you've shared with us. We're really excited to share this. I have to say the lighting in this video was amazing. So if there's anyone out there who's listening to the audio version of this podcast, make sure you jump onto YouTube and have a look at this amazing video that Karina's made. But let's have a listen now, and then you can tell us all about this track. Amazing. Playing your electro harp there. Can you start by telling us what you were... Maybe not everyone knows this piece. So can you tell us what you were playing who it was written by?
So this is a piece from the film Amélie by Jan Tiersen. And it's Comptine de notre été, l'après-midi, which in English is a nursery rhyme of another summer, the afternoon. And it's known as a piano piece. But it's a beautiful piece of music. Came across it on the harp, Heather, through your arrangement of it.
Thank you.
And so I learned that arrangement, and I always quite like playing with loop pedals and recording and doing different things. And I just thought this is the same structure all the way through with the harmony. What a brilliant piece to do with a loop pedal. So that's where the idea started. So everything you hear is done by me in one take, but I'm using the Boss RC5 loop station. And so I started off just by recording a 4-bar loop, just with a simple accompaniment, then added on another accompaniment that goes with it, added on the bass line, added on a little bit of percussion, just with the strings, with holding the strings, and just that movement on there. And just gradually built it up in different layers.
Yeah.
A lot of playing, a lot of experimenting, because it's so easy with a loop pedal to put everything in. And suddenly it's fantastic to play, but it's not quite as fantastic to listen to. So it's a lot of listening back. So that arrangement didn't happen overnight. It was something that developed, and with experimenting and just thinking, actually, I could drop the loops out there. I could drop that dubbing out there. Let me add something else in. Until I sort of came up with the final arrangement.
You had a noodle, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's the best way. But the other thing with it is that I recorded it, and I'm such a big believer in record yourself and listen back to what you're actually doing, because when you're there in the moment, it might sound fantastic, and then when you listen to it, you go, yeah, but that really needs to be quieter. That bit needs to be louder. I need more balance. Or am I really that out of time? Let's do it again.
Yeah.
So
using a loop pedal, I think some people might feel a little bit nervous about that. Difficult technology, and how can I get into it? So, I mean, is there any advice you'd give to people if they maybe are interested in getting into that, but they're a little bit scared of the technology or worried? I mean, your timing does have to be really good, doesn't it?
yeah, that was the hardest bit, actually, doing the first 4-bar loop, because the first bit that I recorded, I'm not playing on beats 1 and 3. So to actually get that in, but that's one of the things with working on it that really came together, and I'm really pleased about. To start with, I would just use a phone and just record something. Honestly, as simple as that. If you think you might be interested, just find a piece that's suitable for looping. Just record something very simple on your phone and play along with it. I think that for me is a great way. And there's lots of apps on your phone as well that will allow you to do it. You just need a pair of headphones to go with your phone.
Yeah, nice
So
and simple.
That for me, I think, is enough to find out is, will you like it? Are you interested in this?
Yeah, that's really good advice. And on that recording, it sounded like you had a few effects on your harp as well. Were you using other pedals? Are they built into your loop pedal? Was there effects? Was there reverb on there?
Just a little bit of reverb.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Nice. Beautiful harp.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. It's, yeah. And I think one of the things about doing videos, it's lovely to have a project. And it's something for me that I will actually give myself a project to work towards. And this was a great one to be able to do with my electric harp and the loop pedal as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you so much for sharing it. And we'll put the link to the full video where you can see the layers being built up that Karina made in the description of this YouTube video. And can we put that on Spotify as well? Yes, I'm getting affirmative nods from the side here. So yeah, we'll put that link in the description for you guys so you can go and check that out on YouTube. That's really, really great. Okay, let's get back to talking about you as a learner harpist. You've obviously already been a learner musician in your younger years, but thinking most specifically about your harp, how do you feel you learn best?
From other people. I think I have learnt so much from talking to other harpists, working with teachers, working with a variety of teachers, and everyone brings something different. But it's not always teachers, it's other people who are the same level of me, or sometimes, someone has just picked up the harp and they said, oh, I've just discovered this. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a lovely piece of music. But no, I think it's definitely learning from being in a social setting and learning from what's happening around me. which is why How to Harp is so lovely.
No.
I'll give you a lovely example. When I first joined How to Harp, there had just been one of the performances of members, and I listened to that. And it was Victoria Johnston, and she played a piece by Adriano Sanguinetto. I love this. What a brilliant piece to do. And it so happened that Adriano was teaching a class at Edinburgh International Harp Festival the following April. So I signed up for it. I absolutely loved it. One of those things that was absolutely transformational and really pushed me musically, gave me new techniques I could do with the harp. Had it not been for Victoria playing that piece, I wouldn't have done that. And I think that's just one example of so many that you learn from other people.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. So you watched Victoria, and then that took you to the Edinburgh Harp Festival. So amazing experience. Can you tell us about your experience at the Edinburgh Harp Festival?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's just harp, and harp. You meet so many people that have got the same passion. There's a wide range of courses you can choose. The performances are brilliant. I like the breadth of performers that they have. You hear new things that you may not have seen. Oh, and all the harps. If you're going to buy a harp, just go there because you can try so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I've already booked my accommodation for next year.
Nice. I'm teaching a technique course. I can't wait.
Excellent. But there's so many interesting things. And I think the thing about it is you learn things that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things for me coming with my musical brain, having studied at conservatoire, having done a master's in composition, I bring a certain amount of knowledge. But you come to the harp, there's an awful lot I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important to be open to those ideas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Okay, and another in-person experience that you had that we had the pleasure of having with you was you came last year to the How to Harp in-person retreat, which is very different to the Edinburgh International Harp Festival. So maybe you can tell us about your experience of that.
Yeah, a fantastic 4 days. It just went past so quickly. And it was lovely because you're working with 3 different tutors. You're working in a group with students at your level. There's also the option for one-to-one lessons. There's talks, there's workshops. We had a fantastic workshop using Lego. And that was all about, it was very creative, but we were building things that how we were to help us goal set and recognise our achievements, and fantastic conversations that came out of that. But then you've got the concerts as well, and the student concerts. I just highly recommend it,
Nice. Nice.
If you love the harp and you want to meet like-minded people, and, you want to improve your playing, come away with new ideas, new repertoire, then it's for you.
Perfect. Lovely. And ensemble playing, of course, that's a really, really big part. That's at the heart of How to Harp is community, and the heart of the retreat was playing together and coming together as that community.
It was lovely because we had a piece to prepare in advance.
Yeah.
And then we actually recorded that. I think ensemble playing is so important. Yeah. It's one of the things that really helps my harp playing. Partly because I'm given parts, and you might go, this is really a bit hard for me. And, there's 2 options. You either, hold your hand up and go, actually, can I have an easier part? And of course, not a problem. Or you actually sit down and you learn it. And it's great, that whole thing about playing with other people, because you have to learn to keep going. It's so rewarding to hear the piece with other people. And like you say, it's that community. When you play in an ensemble, it's a community of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're coming next year even, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah, Can't wait. It's going to be great. And you mentioned that you were interested in, and I know you now have explored this, playing with your pedal harp in an ensemble. I think you play with an amateur orchestra. Or you have done a couple of times. Am I right?
Yes, I've done 2 concerts. I think the first one I did was an orchestral play day, and I've been saying I play in a harp ensemble with Anita Aslin, who runs Harps of the North, and she's my sort of go-to teacher if I want sort of, how do I do this? I'll just book a lesson from time to time. And I said to her, I'd really love to play in an orchestra, and do a play day. And she just said, there's one coming up. So we did Shostakovich 5. And I think I'd had my pedal harp for about 12 weeks by the time I did that. Can I just say, I have never practiced so hard in my entire life.
Even for your conservatoire exams?
Even for my conservatoire exams.
Wow, that's saying something. But I bet you improved massively through that process.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was brilliant. And it was a play day, and I was quite open about, look, I've got orchestral experience, but not as a harpist. And they said, no, we'd love you to come. And so that orchestra then invited me to come back and do 2 more concerts with them, which I've done this year. And
Lovely.
Which again, it's been fantastic. And it's, a real challenge, a real challenge. And that's when you really have to look at your practice technique. And actually think about, right, okay, I've got to get the most out of my time. There's no time to just go, I'll just have a bit of fun. And, so it's that thing about really focused. I was going to say, when I'm doing things like that, the metronome is my friend.
Nice.
All my pieces are marked up. So I've got my pieces marked up with the bits I can do comfortably, the bits that need more work. They're marked up with red, amber and green, basically.
Nice. I love that.
And a metronome mark, so I know where I've got, and so I can do that. Plus the recording myself as well, so you know where you are. And also video. Because when you're trying really hard, I sometimes think it's very easy to your technique to go, or for tension to creep in and your shoulders start going up, or mine do. So that's the sort of thing that actually will really help me to learn something in a short space of time. And
Great. That's great. Great advice that you're sneaking in here everywhere. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all these tips. So let's talk about your future of harping. So what are your ambitions now? What's the next step for you in your harp journey?
I really want to do some composing for harp. So I've written a lot of pieces for woodwind instruments, particularly for flute. But I'd love to do that for harp as well. So that's one of the things I've got in mind. I'm obviously going to keep working with my pedal harp and with my lever harp. I quite like doing exams. And I do exams not because I need another qualification, but again, it's a goal, and it's something where I will learn those pieces to performance standard by a particular date. And so for me, I find that quite a useful thing to do. And it's so easy to get my pieces 80% there quite quickly. And to get them so I'm really performance happy takes me quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm unusual in that. I think you have just got to put the work in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great advice again. Can we talk about your highs and lows in your harping journey? And we're going to start with your low so that we can move to the high. So you can tell us really so that our learners can maybe relate to something that you've gone through, something that's been a low point for you in your harping journey, but then also how you've come through that to the other side.
Oh gosh, there have been several. I think that's normal. That's perfectly normal. When you're playing something, there will be bits when you will go, this really isn't working for me. I think the common one is I don't feel I'm getting any better. And that's one for me. I'm not learning things as quickly as I should be. So one of the things that does actually help is I tend to keep a record of what I'm working on. And all I need to do is look back at what I was working on 6 months ago. And I can actually see there has been an improvement. Or look at the video that I did or a recording that I did, I go, actually, no, I can see a real difference. So that's one thing. But I think the real low for me was I broke my thumb.
How did you break your thumb? How did you do
that? Someone shut a door on it.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was my left-hand thumb. And when I was told that I couldn't play the harp for 12 weeks, I was horrified.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of things. One is that I did a lot of exercises for my right hand. So I was given a lot of exercises that I could do that was just for my right hand to develop technique. And then I also started arranging things just to play with one hand. And so that gave me that creative output again, that I could still play. I've got a couple of recordings of things that I did. And it just gave me that time at the harp. And then also I would record things as well. So I would record one part, so I'd record the bass part, and so I could practice the right hand as well. So that was a real low point.
But always a way that, like, there's always something you can do, right? There's usually something that you can do. I mean, there probably are situations where you can't sit at the harp, but even if you can't sit at the harp, you can listen and look at the scores and get inspiration and talk. Like, quite often, actually, we have people who come to How to Harp and they say, "Oh, I'm going to join, but I'm going to join when this is better, or when I can do this, or when I'm at this level." And I'm like, no, join now. Like, get to work now, watch the concerts, listen to the people talk in the community. So actually there is always something you can do, isn't there?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things sort of with the musician training that was a real positive for me, that I knew that I could throw myself into things that maybe I wasn't ready for it yet, but I would get so much from it. And it's, and I don't think the thing about, you're not ready for it. You are at some level. Just go for it. Just do it.
Yeah. Feel the fear and do it anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and now we get to come to the high point of your harping so far. What's been the absolute, like, that was amazing?
Oh, gosh, again, lots of things that have been amazing. I've met so many amazing people, so many amazing teachers. People are able to share ideas. I think I'm probably going to say it's the orchestral playing. Probably because it took me so far out of my comfort zone, and I had to work so hard at it, and the sense of achievement afterwards. And again, it's that joy of sharing music with other people. So, yeah.
Lovely. That's brilliant. So you've mentioned the How to Harp membership. You are a very valued member of How to Harp. Maybe you could tell everyone what's your, again, I'm going to ask for one thing here, but what's your favourite part of the How to Harp membership?
The people. It's as simple as that. It's the people, it's the ideas that I get from people sharing repertoire. It's the chats. There was a chat recently about repertoire for going to play in a care home, and so many good ideas. Yeah. It's literally, it's what the people, it's the community that you've built, Heather. It's that is just so valuable.
Nice. Lovely. Thank you. That's my favourite part as well, actually. So it's nice that you picked that. So we're going to finish up. It's been so lovely to chat to you and just feel your energy. I can feel it like oozing out of you, this lovely positive energy. So it's been really nice to spend the time with you. But maybe you could leave us with one piece of advice that you would give to other harp learners.
Only one is challenging, but I've thrown in a few along the way, so it's okay. I would say talk to other people. Don't worry if you're stuck. Celebrate the small wins. And also if you're finding something really hard, just think you're not necessarily learning something for tomorrow. It might be something that's 3 months' time, and it takes time to come. And just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Karina. It's been an absolute joy and pleasure to talk to you today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the membership and then in 3D at Edinburgh and then at the How to Harp retreat.
I know, I can't wait. Thank you so much for asking me today.
Pleasure. Thank you so much to Karina for joining me in this episode. It was such a lovely chat, and I'm so glad we got to share your story with everyone. And I'm especially excited to see you again in person at the next How to Harp retreat. I can't wait to do more in-person harping together. Next week is another solo episode with me, and it will be out on Boxing Day, the 26th of December. So it's very much an end of year roundup. I hope you can find a little bit of quiet time over the Christmas festivities and New Year holiday period to have a listen. If you enjoyed this episode, please do like, subscribe, comment and share with a harp friend. It helps us make sure that podcasts reach as many harpists as possible. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.